Good morning, RGB entrepreneurs and our business owners. I'm Christopher, IRS Certified Acceptance Agent, tax professional, and a business owner here in RGB. We are an all year round, all-in-one tax, payroll, bookkeeping, local, and outsource service solution. Today, we will cover because it's only we are already on July, and the tax deadline filing would be this July 15th. So that's why we are giving this free webinar series where you can take advantage of the deductions that might help to lower your taxes or even get more credits. So today we are going to talk about the ultimate list of small business deductions. What are the different type of expenses that you need to deduct or you need to take note as early as of today for your 2019 tax return? Okay. So before we proceed to our presentation, let me just go over with the different success stories we have. We are still, since we are doing tax payroll bookkeeping services, these are also part of our service is the application of the PPP forgiveness. If you are in the process of applying that and you need help or you want us to take over, then we are willing to give a 1-hour consultation to get things done. This is the current performance for our COVID-19 business relief. More than 93% have been submitted already and approved. We're only waiting for 7% of our applicants. And so far, now they opened the SBA EIDL. It's still ongoing now. You guys can always contact if you need help. You can do it by yourself, but if you need help, we are willing to do the application or navigation on your behalf to get the EIDL. I believe it's $1,000 for self-employed. In other words, we will be your right hand. You take care of your business, we will take care of your numbers. If you would like to watch the past webinars, all you have to do is just go to our YouTube and type WICO Tax. All the different videos from tax, payroll, bookkeeping, even the COVID-19 business relief are all there. And you can download a free PDF tax, payroll, and bookkeeping checklist by going on our website, wicotax.com. And 15 participants who will complete the web series will receive, on top of the certificate, is a 1-hour tax, payroll, bookkeeping strategy. For tomorrow, this is going to be a Spanish, all Spanish. For the Thursday live chat, las pruebas y los triunfos durante la crisis de COVID-19. I hope I pronounced it right. I'm sorry if I did not. July 2, 10 in the morning. And next week, this is our week 4 or series 4 for the new tax filing guidelines for 2020. What are the new changes for the filing deadline and guidelines that would be presented both in English and Spanish? Please be there. Okay, so this is our YouTube. Please click subscribe because we have been offering a lot of free videos. If you think it will benefit any of your fellow entrepreneurs, feel free to share it. Our website, go to WICO Tax and you would see it here. Click the download and tax bookkeeping. And if you want to talk to us today, just click call now. Just a disclaimer that this material has been prepared for informational purposes only. It is not intended to provide and should not be relied for tax, legal, and accounting advice. WICO Tax is a local and outsourced tax, payroll, and bookkeeping company, and we are not associated with any institution on this presentation, and is a private business providing resources for small businesses. Because here in our series, you can learn anything with a cup of coffee. Let's go into it. The ultimate list of small business deductions. There are the list of ultimate small business deductions. The good thing about it, when you are in business, whether you're sole proprietor, LLC, partnership, S corporation, or C corporation, they all have the common denominator. These are the common denominator for all of the expenses. So we will go over the ultimate list. The following topics will be discussed. What is the 20% business income deduction? What can a small business write off? Can you claim Netflix as a business expense? Let's see. According to the IRS, that the Internal Revenue Service reminds small business owners and self-employed individuals to take deductions. By the way, if you guys have questions on Facebook or here in Zoom, just feel free to type and we will answer it at the end of the presentation. Reviewing your options and eligibility now can help you better estimate your tax situation and plan ahead. Here are just the few key deductions and credits that can benefit the small business taxpayers. What I strongly encourage, as I'm proactive with our fellow business owners, the tax planning and tax savings don't happen at the end of the year. It happens during the year. What do I mean by that? If you have a business and you're making money already, never go to your tax professional at the end of the year. You need to visit them at least every 3 months, because always all these credits and deductions should be done during the year, not like in a piece of paper that you're going to write everything, whatever the tax professional gave you. That's why my business mentor said, if you would like to be successful more on your business, you need to have 3 best friends. Number 1 would be the lender, number 2 would be the lawyer, and number 3 would be your tax professional. Okay, because they are the ones who will help you to cut your taxes and to prevent and maximize your finances up to the full limit. Okay, so that's why we were saying develop a constant communication with your tax professional, since we are in a tax industry, because taxes, it will never go away. But the only way we can help you is to limit and minimize the amount of tax that you are going to pay. Typically, we're contributing 30%, ideally. Can you imagine 30%? If you're making $100,000, let's say that's your take-home money, you're paying what? 30,000 for the next 10 years. If your business is gonna run for the next 10 years, that's a $300,000. That's so much money. But the good news, there's always room to minimize that. And one of those is what? We are calling this is the QBID, the Qualified Business Income Deduction. This never existed for the past years. This was just, I think, 2 years ago, 2018, that they allowed a deduction. So what is a qualified business income deduction? Many individuals, including the owners of businesses operated through sole proprietor, partnership, S corporation, trust, and estates, may be eligible for a qualified business income deduction. What they were saying here, that the deduction will allow to deduct up to 20% of the qualified business income plus 20% of qualified real estate investment trust dividends and qualified publicly traded partnership or PTP income. In other words, this is how it works. When you are in an S corporation, LLC, sole proprietor, let's just say you made $150,000 in a year, and then out of all expenses, you still have $100,000 take-home money. Okay. With the new law of the QBI or QBID, that $100,000 is not taxable because the IRS will deduct additional 20% off. So instead of you being taxed on $100,000, they will only tax you at $80,000. That is a lot of deductions that you have to take advantage of. If you're not aware of that, of course, there are some limitations in terms of the income, in terms of the industry you're at. It's better you talk to your tax professional. How does that work? All right, so there are some rules and regulations, but the good thing about it, if you're a sole proprietor, partnership, LLC, you can take advantage of this. The only limitation, one of the things that you have that I need to remind you, this does not apply to C corporation. C corp does not have this benefit. Okay. The deduction is available for what? Tax years beginning after December 31, 2017. The eligible taxpayers can claim it for the first time under 2018 federal income tax return filed in 2019. So that's why I said it was, if you filed it in 2018, first time on 2018. That is part of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, also made changes to losses. That's another one that we will go over is what? The business losses. This is going to apply especially right now with the COVID-19 situation where people are losing their business or they're not making it. The Tax Cuts Jobs Act also made changes to losses. Under the TCJA, losses from a trade or business are now limited to $250,000 or $500,000 for a joint return. This includes activities reported on Schedule C. Schedule C is what? Sole proprietor. These are people with active income. When you say active, you are actively doing the business. If you're a restaurant owner, you're selling, you're cooking. If you are an insurance company, you are what? If you're an insurance company, I mean, you're actively selling the policies. And then also Schedule F. Schedule F is what? Farming activities. You are all included with declaration of business losses. There are guidelines and rules. It also includes being an employee and certain activities even reported on Schedule E. Schedule E are for people on rental. These are more like passive activity or passive income. Excess business losses that are no longer allowed are treated as NOL or net operating loss and carried forward to the following tax year. If you are going to acquire or you have losses today, this year you can carry it forward. That's how it works to the following tax year. Now, the other small business deductions are business expenses. So we talked about the qualified business income deductions. That is, you know, you don't need to have receipts for those. And then you have losses, number 2. And number 3 are the business expenses. Business expenses are usually deductible if the business operates to make profit. To be deductible, a business expense must be, always remember, both ordinary and necessary. An ordinary expense is one that's common and accepted in the trade or business. That's why we always tell to our clients, is it necessary and ordinary to run your business? Always ask yourself. These are the different type of business expenses, and we have a separate presentation for this. But we will just go over with the business use of home. If a taxpayer, especially we are doing a digital economy where people can work from home already, this is something that you really need to be aware of. If a taxpayer uses part of their home for business, part of their home expenses may be deductible. And these expenses may include what? The mortgage interest, insurance, utilities, repairs, and depreciation. Alternatively, there's a simplified method. And that's why we do compute and we do compare it whenever our clients at the end of the year, we do a tax planning for them to figure out which one will benefit, either the simplified or the actual expense method. Okay? Now, the business use of car. If taxpayer uses their car in their business, they can deduct car expenses. If they use it for both businesses and personal purposes, then you have to divide expenses based on actual mileage. What do I suggest from this? We already have an app, Mile IQ. Go to online to your app store, to your phone, and download the Mile IQ where it automatically tracks your mileage. And you could just classify what is personal and what is business use. They have monthly yearly subscription, but it is all worth it rather than you doing it manually. Mile IQ is the one that I'm using. Go to the App Store. The other expenses would be meals and entertainment. In general, taxpayers can deduct 50% of the cost of business meals if the taxpayer or an employee of the taxpayer is present and the food or beverages are not lavish or extravagant. Rent expense. In general, a taxpayer can deduct rent as expense only if the rent is for property use in their trade or business. If they have or will receive equity in or title to the property, the rent is no longer deductible. Business expense, the other one would be interest. Business interest expense is an amount charged for the use of money. A taxpayer borrowed for business activities, limits, and special rules may apply. Another one would be taxes. A taxpayer can deduct various federal, state, local, and foreign taxes directly attributable to their trade or business as business expense. Federal could be the payroll taxes. Those are the property taxes that you're paying. Those are all part of your deductions. Together with the cost of goods sold or product or service. What is the cost of goods? These are all directly related on running your business. For example, you have a restaurant. What do you need on the restaurant? The actual food that you're selling are part of cost of goods sold. From the meat, from the styrofoam, if you're selling, if you're giving straw, napkins, all of those are part of cost of goods. That's the reason why we are doing a bookkeeping, because you want to make sure that they are being itemized accurately and correctly. Now, if you're in a service industry, you can consider what are the service industry. Physical therapies. If I run a physical therapy clinic, of course, the actual therapies that I'm paying could be part of my cost of goods, okay? Because they are directly related, but they don't call it cost of goods, they call it cost of service. Overhead expenses are also part of it. Now, the other one that the W-2 employee salaries, benefits, and vacation pay, and this is what we are saying that under the PPP, there is no double dipping, which means to say if for this 2020, you are going to file your taxes for next year. Any type of for the paycheck protection program, remember whatever you're going to use, just be reminded that you are no longer allowed to make those deductions for your W-2 by next year. Whatever payroll expenses that you use the PPP, you are no longer allowed to deduct it by next year on your tax return. Okay, please be reminded. Let's say $100,000 is your payroll expense. $50,000 went to payroll. 50,000 were covered by the PPP. So which means to say you're only allowed to deduct 50,000 for your tax filing next year. I'm talking about next year, not this year. Okay. For employee salaries, benefits, and vacation pay. The other operating expenses that you can deduct for your tax return would be office supplies, postage, shipping cost, internet and phone professional service fees. All of these resources you can find on the irs.gov. When you're using a when you're a sole proprietor, you have to put it on your Schedule C. When you are a rental income, you are going to use Schedule E. Farming is Schedule F. For S Corporation, 1120S, and for C Corporation is 1120. The question, can you claim Netflix as a business expense? It's very ironic because the reason why I put this here, this is one of the most frequently asked questions on Google. The answer is it really depends. Because the way we handle or we answer the question is this: is it going to be part of your business? If this Netflix, for example, we are in a tax office and they have kids, okay? They have kids going to the office, and the only way for them not to get in the way of us doing the taxes of their parents, of the mom, is for them to watch maybe Dora or Peppa Pig on Netflix. Then that is part of our operations. Then we can deduct the Netflix as part of business expense. But if you're going to use it only for personal reason, it's no longer going to be part of your business expense. That's why as long as it's ordinary and necessary, remember, when you run a business, we can always help you to reclassify the expenses from personal to business. Okay, so now which one are you? Do you want to run your business like this, that you're on top of your company, or you want to have like this? So many people are still stuck in this very traditional. They don't want to delegate, they don't want to train, they don't want to hire because they want to save. In the long run, you're not saving, but you are spending more time. And life is not just working hard, it's working smart. If you're still doing your payroll, if you're still doing your marketing, your accounting, operations, you have to think again. What if something happens to you? Do you think your business is going to grow or going to make profit for you? So just think again. Okay. Now, organizing the books. Which one are you? This is how we do our bookkeeping, payroll, and our tax for our clients. But so many people, especially here in the RGB, they will bring us this listing. And the worst thing scenario, if you will get audited, there's no chance. It's next to impossible to win your case. Just a short background about the company. We were established in 2015. We are an all-year-round, all-in-one tax payroll bookkeeping service solution. We currently have 2 locations, Harlingen and Brownsville. More than 20 years of combined experience. We just do request on this COVID-19 situation. Our clients, we only see per appointment. And as much as possible is virtual. And as a matter of fact, We would like to promote the health and wellness of everybody. So that's why, as much as possible, we do understand your needs, but also we need to protect everybody. Okay? All right. So now you can still go to our office, but it's really per appointment. We are in a worry-free, year-round, competitive, and on-time tax payroll bookkeeping service solution. We also do tax resolution service like an audit and unpaid taxes. We can help you with that. Before you call us or before you even make an appointment, please check us online for you to tell whether we will be fit on your needs for your tax payroll and bookkeeping. We have the highest rated reviews and it's going 700 plus. I'm proud to say that we are number one for the financial industry. Okay, here in South Texas. And we also serve Spanish community. As a matter of fact, I'm the only one that doesn't really speak so much Spanish. And these are our webinars. Just tune in tomorrow, please. Las pruebas y los triunfos durante la crisis de COVID-19. That's going to be tomorrow at 10 in the morning. And next week, next Wednesday would be the new tax filing guidelines for 2020. Our YouTube and Waiko Tax page, our website. If you like this, please like or share our presentation. Okay, thank you for watching our Y Coffee break. We will go to questions, question and answer. All right, there's none so far. If you have more questions, just reach us on our email or contact us on our phone number. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye.